Welcome back to Dread Delusion. So, we picking up where we left off. So, we have what appears to be a moving house. I assume it's some sort of harvester with a tower over here. I'm gonna run over to the tower. Just to see what it's about, basically. This is the base of the tower, not the actual tower itself. So we're actually not going to do that. We're going to fight this thing. I think the yeah, we'll find the next one across, but the anecdotes, I think probably this one more interesting contractors and stuff. So sorry about that. Now, can we get on top of this thing when it's moving? This worker shouts at you at the top of his lungs. Right, let's get to work. Hand me that Thormic lance, and then you're going under the floor. What are you talking about? Hey, what'd you say? I said, I don't know what you're talking about. What? Speak out, will you? I don't work here. It's King's gears. There's no need to shout. They do not look up from their work. Stay where you are. Don't move. Not one more inch. Why, what's wrong? Patterns, resonance is all wrong. Very delicate, easy disturbed. Order and chaos. Chaos and order. No good, no good. Must I really explain the basics? I'm afraid I really don't understand. This land ship runs on precise cipher mathematics. Magic numbers, infinitely multiplied. Any contradiction can throw the balance. As long as you're aboard, you're part of it. Does a cogwheel leave its post to go strolling off through the machine? They seem to suddenly realize something. At a glance off of you sharply. No. What should I do? Speak only in even-numbered words. When walking, don't step on every second floorboard. No more, no less. Do not tread on the cracks. Do not envision the color morph. And only turn your body left, never right. If you must turn right, then just turn left till you face the way you want. I'll leave you alone. Even numbers, damn your eyes, even! But if we're in a basic society, even's probably not that important. So they want us to, if we want to go. What did that do, I wonder? This worker is cradling a hand-rolled cigarette as they gaze out of the farmlands, their voices slow and hollow. Beautiful, isn't it? From this distance you can barely even tell. You're weeks late, you know. Not that it matters, we need 20 people to run this thing properly. So what difference does one more or less make? What am I late for? You're not the new crew member, then you must be from Feropolis. We asked for a real machinist. Someone qualified to meddle with the King's magic. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised I sent you. No offense. Actually, I'm trying to get to Feropolis. Oh well, never mind. You're not really allowed to be here, but they reassigned our last militia last month. CD was needed in the city in case of unrest, so I can't even bother to stop you. Who are you anyway? I suppose I'm the captain here. At least since Ogden's clock ran out. Technically, his title was Senior Crew Chief, Landship 4, though I still haven't officially been promoted to replace him. Honestly, I'm not even sure that the king knows he's dead. Anyway, what does it matter? Nothing to be done. What is this place? Billing machine. Landship. One of those mechanical marvels our kingdom was so famous for. Think of it as a portable workshop or factory. The king sends us wherever we're most needed. For the last year, we've been helping with food production, threshing, winnowing, packaging, all that. Not that there's much to be done as long as the winter keeps going. If you imagine we can relax, ha! You don't know this kingdom. No, we still have targets to meet, the drills to run, the meaningless work to perform. Sometimes I think the king just hates to see us not looking busy. Anyway, what does it matter? Nothing to be done. And Sophie Crowboard. Ah, so you've noticed, eh? Yes, at this point we're not even a skeleton crew, just bone meal. They never did replace Bogdan after he fell into the cracks and went under. I used to have nightmares about it, but now I don't dream at all. Problem solved, I suppose. But before, it wasn't enough. How we ever managed with just 4 people, I don't know. Still, we must have done it. Anyway, what does it matter? Nothing to be done. Leave you to your thoughts. Here, Captain. Now, I had a trigger, so there must be something else I can press to do things. The assumption is 1 in every room. Something has changed. A keyring found inside the roaming factory in the northern farmlands of the Clockwork Kingdom. Unlocks its sister factory to the southeast. Lost to the corruption, the second factory now sits abandoned. That'll be useful for the future. Mayhap. Oh, so that wasn't a complete waste of time. And this thing is pretty cool. Although, we will ignore the fact that if you were actually sitting something that massive across these fields, you'd be turning everything up. Like, tracks that significant would savage these crops. Not to be a dick about it or anything, but... Another girder. Just what you've always wanted. An organ. A whole roof of what again looked like organs. Without the pipes to lick them, but you know, whatever. Substation. Substation. Those things are really kind of cool, I'll be honest. They're animated. There are cannon on wheels. They look fan-fucking-tastic. I'll be honest. Oh, here, we're just gonna run over to this thing. You know where we're going. I mean, that is definitely for us. It's the only thing that would make any sense at this point. Here's what this is. This door needs a key. Oh, actually. Okay, that was not what I was expecting. The tower is on its own. This is the object graveyard. And so we're now going to head up the hill to France. Aeropolis, as they prefer to be called. So my assumption at this point is we're going to end up having to help them cure winter. Cure winter. That is speculation at the moment. Now, we had a map down the hill in Rusttown from Thing, which pointed to a tower. I think that's probably that tower. Actually, no, it was blue. Disregard. Ignore me. It's just... It wouldn't be an industrial society if we didn't have a giant block. We just got here from Cloudpine Oblast. Held on as long as we could, but the winter finally does, and it's a folks like us in this town, so I've heard. I was hoping the Fanta can sort us out. You hungry? Somehow I've got some supplies with me for 2 people, even though I'm traveling alone. It's weird. There's stuff in me pack I don't remember packing. The citizen is a baby, bottled up and nestled inside their voluminous coat, and is singing them a soft lullaby in a language you don't know. Are you here to see the Factor too? You're in for quite a wait, I fear. The man naps, awaiting his place in the queue. Leave him alone. The citizen is remonstrating with a guard. Having a scrap of pink paper. You don't understand. It's these new numbers, see? My ticket says 144, but now they're telling me... Sorry. Now they're telling us every 10 is a 6. So it's actually 144. So is it actually 144 or what? 36 plus 44? 70, is it? Oh, and count the bloody 0. See, only a wizard could make sense of it. Now I've been waiting here for 2 hours already to see the Factor, and I just want to know... This guard is occupied trying to stop the wedding room to see into chaos. Citizen, I've told you, the Royal Factor is very busy. Your ticket will be called in the order it was. They jerk their head around to yell at someone across the room. Oi, you over there. I told you to sit down. I've got my eyes on you. Now, citizen, like I was saying. If your number is being called, you may speak to the factor. If not, you must stay downstairs. Now please, stop bothering me, will you? The stocky middle-aged woman is methodically entering numbers into a ledger. She doesn't look up. Your ticket, please. Make my number. Number 53. Continues writing, your eyes fixed on the book. Why, Citizen Javed, you've changed a great deal since I saw you last week. For instance, your missing leg has grown back. Looks at you, up and over her spectacles. Her expression is surprisingly kind. I know it's very frustrating to be kept waiting like this. I imagine you've come a very long way. But we've just had another wave of evacuees from Cloudpine, and every one of them needs a proper bed. If you're not the only one who has urgent business at the Royal Factor today, see? Royal Factor continues writing, her little wire-rimmed spectacles perching upon her nose. I'm afraid you just must wait your turn, citizen. Downstairs. Mikhail sent me. He sent hello. Misha sent you? Well, why didn't you say so? Mr. Gallo, hold all tickets, please. Now, let's have a look at this passport. It's really not a bad likeness, is it? He's captured all those perfectly. You'll be wanting a travel permit then. I believe I can help, but given your unconventional means of arrival, I will require just a teensy test of your loyalty. One hand washes the other, see? What did you have in mind? Some days ago, a goods caravan was ambushed out in Yansik on its way to Ferropolis. The only survivor died of their wounds before they could tell us the culprit. Apparently, all my militia squads are tied up keeping order in the city, so a proper retrieval mission will have to wait. But there was one particular item in the caravan that we just can't do without. What you're looking for is a royal freight capsule with a chest inside. It should be somewhere in the somewhere northwest of here, in the forest beyond the farmlands. The factor smiles maternally. If you can bring me the contents of that chest, I think you and I will have a very fruitful relationship. No wedding for me. There's something in it. Don't worry, this one's on our side. But one word from me, and it'll go at you like a wild beast. So get in line like everyone else. What is that machine? One of the Clockwork King's most fearsome servants, the Clockwork Myrmidon. Meant to be more loyal than any human soldier, but if you've been in the countryside, you know how that turned out. So we're dealing with I guess you'll be dealing with muggins here for a bit longer, eh? Halt and behave yourself, citizen, thyself, citizen, or thou standest before a servant of the Clockwork King. Please make your acquaintance. Pondering, alas, thy query exceeds the remit of this incarnation. Petitions to its majesty must be submitted to the Machinarium. Appraisal, thou art a vagabond of unknown loyalty, therefore, trespass not against the king's peace, or thou art watched and thrice watch. All hail its majesty, Machinus Rex, the Clockwork King. Every bloody time, I swear by the king, I spend more ticks waiting than actual hauling. Don't they know they've got targets this week? Last week it was a cipher essay gone kaput. This week, the week before, a spilled wagon full of dead sky squid. What's next? Rains of piss? Ugh. This is always the worst part. Even an adept of the Machinist Guild must be assayed like anyone else. The commands of our king were enforced without fear or favor. This guard is holding some kind of long, thin metal wand connected by wires to the machine beside him. They pointed at you as you approach. You there, citizen, stay where you are. Anyone entering from Ferropolis must be assayed for corruption. By orders of the king. Now say ah. Ah. The guard deftly pokes the one inside your mouth, holding it there for a few seconds, then waves it up and down your body, whilst the machine emits little chirps and warbles. Give you the hearing I will. Feel free to pass, citizen. Get moving before I arrest you for gross impudence. We won't worry about that yet. Let's go and try to deal with the factor business. Or anything else. Oh. Nothing to see here, mate. Just a few incorruptible defenders of the realm resting for a tick or two. You like the daredevil sort, spell. Spell sword, am I wrong? Explorer, maybe? Plenty of spare equipment in the Royal Militia, military stuff, and we ain't been paid for 3 weeks running. 50 coin, we get you into that armory over there. Now, how about it? Now I get it. You're an entrepreneur. Very well, it's a deal. Just remember our bargain. What do we have in here? One final. And rusty armor. Rusted suit of armor. Though this equipment has seen better days, it will stop a sword strike in a pinch. Many of the brigands and rogues of the Sky Realms loot questionable equipment from old God of War battlefields. That is actually there's a defensive suit of armor. Very interesting. This guy is carefully rolling himself a pungent cigarette. Did you not look up? I ain't on duty for another hour, so sod off. I'll arrest you for aggravated pestering. Okie dokie. So. Let's keep going this way. For a bit and see what other quests we can get, and then we'll out with the course of action. Shite. Right, that was me dropping my phone. I concur, games. Does indeed look like an interesting landmark. Okie dokie. So we have an actual proper city this time. So first and first, we'll check out the forge. I didn't actually intend to try to break into the forge, because it's nighttime. And we're not playing Kinchi. Right. The guard is shouting with a frenetic energy to anyone passing by. Move along, stop your gawping. What is above you is not your concern. I mean, if you hadn't told me, I wouldn't have noticed. I know it sounds bonkers, but I'd swear the city used to be bigger. Not just more people, I mean bigger. More streets, more houses. Or maybe it's just small. I was just smaller. My memory must be playing tricks on me. The surface of the notice board is entirely lost beneath layer upon layer of paper. White half-melted candles shelter at its foot. A sign at the top reads, "Missing persons." Read one of the notices. One notice in particular catches your eye. It looks relatively new and is written in a spidery hand. Dear child, I do not know why I'm writing this. I do not know who you are. I don't even remember your name. I just know there is a hole in my life and nothing fills it. If you are real, please come home. I want to feel bright again. Oleg Gorovich. Something tugs at you about this strange notice. Maybe you should offer your help. The notice gives directions to a house on the northeast islet of Ferropolis, accessed via the city's rear gate. Read another notice. This notice is written on the back of a royal petition slip, seemingly by several different hands. Missing 2 months. Edith, 71, retired plumber. Last seen visiting where's she? Oh, there. Dark hair, 4, light brown skin. Foul of mouth and smokes like a chimney. Argues bitterly on any point at which she takes offense. It cannot by any means be reasoned with or pacified. Very much missed by her 3 children, 14 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren, and 7 mama birds. Please send word, if any, sighting to Charthouse Ing, Sierra Amrit Core, 14 Rampart Square, Ferropolis. DWK. Another notice. So this was evidently printed by Woodblock, suggesting it is one of multiple identical copies. Attention all true patriots. A memorial will be held on month 3, day 32, hour 17, the Lost Citizens of Progress, marking the 5th anniversary of its downfall, in Union Park, Ferropolis. The Citizens Disaster Memorial Committee will continue to petition our gracious King for answers as to the fate of our loved ones, and, or else, although still listed is missing, blah. We'll leave the message board alone. You're confronted by a middle-aged man with precious eyes and a bushy, well-kept salt and pepper beard. Halt! In the name of the king! Traveller, you are hereby detained in the name of His Majesty the Cockpit King. Please don't do yourself a mischief by resisting. I haven't done anything. Irrelevant. You are here, and you have an appointment. Call it fate if you believe in such primitive things. I am Sunil, King Speaker, first among equals of the Machinist Guild. It is in its ever-advancing wisdom, Its Majesty has requested your presence in the audience chamber at the Machinarium. This is not optional. Yes, of course. Pleasure, unless arrest this nitwit. We need to be gentle. The madness of the king. Do not keep Its Majesty waiting. Any advice? Make all proper obeisances upon entry. Do not speak until spoken to. You may address Its Majesty aloud, with your voice. Once dismissed, walk backwards to the door. Never turn your back on Its Majesty. As you approach the vast machine, a sense of uncanny pressure pervades your body, as if you're pushing against an invisible wall that grows ever stronger. So that goes ever stronger with every step. Is it sorcery, or only your fear? Your soul knows that the king is bigger than this interface. Bigger than the room, bigger than the Machinarium, bigger than the sky. You feel minuscule in its presence, and somehow fictional, as if all your memories were merely this thing's daydreams. The noise of wheels and pistons fuse into an abyssal roar. Your skin fizzles. Your sense of balance swirls. You taste metal, then burnt nuts, then something magenta. A delicate metal arm slivers into life and begins to write. Invocation afoot. Please abide. Invoking. Rejoice and exult. The invocation is cast. All hail Its Majesty. Mechanus Rex, the Clockwork King. Now summoning. Cannon. Courtesy. Not royal. Audience. Human. Ignorant. Alas, cannot invoke. Hex rune. Not Bazoth's 912th binding. Alas, cannot invoke Hex Origin. Not Rez Sharp's 14th Exegesis. Record of Fault. The flood of symbols fills the parchment several times over until finally the call stops. Augury. Subject indicates confusion. 62% confidence. Conjuring alternate exegesis. Pitching that Fetching true name. Judgment, thou subject number. Confirm. From outside. Alas, cannot summon codex outside. Axiom, all trespassers in the most glorious Clockwork Kingdom are made subject to our majesty immediately upon entry for the all time. Therefore, edict, thou art subject. Subject. Thou art summoned here to account for thy purpose. Therefore, we demand, what is thine answer? I'm a second Union agent hunting a dangerous outlaw. Pondering. Axiom. Our agency does not recognize the entity known as the F-State Union. Therefore, edict. All Union agents must first account for past grievances. Thus, against the inscrutable symbols, fill the page. Therefore, we demand, what is thine answer? Alas, cannot summon lexicon, common folk. No alternate exegesis despised. Therefore, we once again demand, what is thine answer? Pondering, judgment, subject. Thine answer is invalid. Therefore, edict, thou art selected for sacramental duty. All prior purposes hereby annulled, and thus will be as dust. What does that mean? The sacramental duty is as follows. This time the nonsense continues for several minutes. All agree, failure of these tasks may result in critical reality exception. 96% confidence. Judgment. A critical reality exception may imperil the kingdom. Therefore, dereliction of this duty will be punished by unmitigated annihilation. How can I bear if I don't understand you? Pondering. Judgment. Obedience is not required understanding. Therefore, edict. Thou shalt perform the sacramental duty. Subject, thine audience is concluded, and thou art dismissed. Therefore, edict, vacate immediately this hallowed chamber, and begin thy task, on pain of annihilation. Yeah, that wasn't that exciting. Now be gone. I better use some of my thought power than to explain it any more on the likes of you. Wait, I need to tell you the king's message. No, you do not. Its Majesty is quite capable of appraising me of its concerns directly. Myself will review the logs of your audience. Be gone. I will not ask you again. The king chose me for sacramental duty. It said there'd be... Enough. Hear me, traveller. Its Majesty's edicts are complex and easily misunderstood by one such as you. Any task of true input will be noted and addressed. You have finished here. So, man is the king. The king has ordered you to perform something called the sacramental duty. But its instructions made no sense. Perhaps someone in Frobus can tell you more. Where are we going? We don't need roads. Ah! 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 They should have catch themselves. Alright, king's toenails no more. No more. Let's both take a deep breath and calm down. I thought you were one of the hematologists. The bastard's been stalking me all day, trying to hurry my work. I'm working as fast as I can. Lay. I'm a summoner. We maintain the cipher spells that transport goods throughout the kingdom. From farm to stockpile to summoning station or back again. I use summoning station. It's quite simple. Simply approach the machine, visualize what you want, and press use. If you don't receive the right thing, you probably didn't visualize it correctly. The queries. That's very complicated. These spells are invoked thousands of times per day. One small mistake in this room will ripple across the kingdom. Now, do you see why it can't be rushed? Maybe you shouldn't have that power. And the other philosophers, they're busy changing the world. Any further queries? I'll serve you no further. Can't you see I'm busy? That's the dude. Okay, so how the fuck do we get out of here? I'm an interpreter. We study the king's commands and proclamations to understand its true wishes. If you need something, I've quite a lot of reading to get through. I've actually had an audience with the king myself. Wait, that was you? Grab the parchment to take notes. What did Its Majesty say? Don't leave out any details. What may seem relevant to you is as gold to us. Ask me to perform the sacramental duty, whatever that is. Sacramental duty, huh? That's new. Or maybe it's a legacy component from one of the old political tracts that we consulted to build the king. Was there no further detail? Only a bunch of weird symbols. Ah, of course. You need a cranial moderator to even read most of its output, but then Its Majesty can be a little, well, cryptic. What is a cranial moderator? A magical clockwork device grafted into your brain. See my mechanical eye? It lets me read the king's six-fold cipher language as easily as a cheap ballad. Unfortunately, Its Majesty's mysteries go deeper than mere language. Where would I get one? Well, you could take the guild entrance exams, score in the top 6, pass a political audit, undergo 3 years of training, and swear to magically binding loyalty oath. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Maybe Chief Interpreter Afara could help, but we interpreters aren't really supposed to talk with outsiders. If you need something more, I have quite a lot of reading to get through. Sorry to bother you. Where is the Chief Interpreter? I'm a comatologist. We draft petitions the guilds make since the king to make sure they're in correct cipher language. What's a petition exactly? The request for action, you know, production orders, rule changes, alteration requests. We can't tell Its Majesty what to do, but we can ask. Sometimes it listens. How may I ask you? No, can I just get back to work? What names the language is correct? Oh, anything. The wrong verb here. We get a skating rink instead of a farm. The misplaced comma there, and the wrong house vanishes. More importantly, I could lose out on guild commendations for this year. We consult the people, the petition's effect. They give you a queer look. I'm not good at talking to layfolk. Besides, individual testimony is invariably clouded by partiality or bias. Most people can't see the big picture like we can. Now, may I please get back to work? Sounds important. Best of luck. Don't talk to me. I'm in hell. Without a doubt, this is hell. I'm in cipher hell, you swine. Charm hell. Invocation hell. Contagion hell. Transposition hell. You name the hell, I'm in it. My only surmise is that the last machinist who work on the spell made a dread bargain with some foul power. My soul for their freedom. I am sucked, but there's a mess they've left behind, and none of it makes sense. Like trying to untangle a ball of string when you only told us another piece of string. Or a wet noodle. Aye, this is hell. I don't know, can you reconjugate 274-line cipher charm for a low contagion rune set whilst maintaining echo resonance with legacy canon written by a lazy moron who never took notes? And bogger for leave to my torment. Aye, this is hell. Okay, so realistically we need to try to find Afara. Wherever she lives. It's also still in the middle of the night. Doesn't help. Our sovereign is not pleased with us, my friend. Signs are everywhere if you know where to look. Only by rebuilding our efforts and rooting out the disloyal among us may we win back Her Majesty's trust. Long live the king! Long live the king. If you're having trouble with the king, talk to Reza. It really helped me when the guild kept insisting I should be able to grow 2 acres of potatoes in my bathtub. How did Reza help you? They showed me how to file a petition that would cause any good targets laid on my property. Goods targets laid on my property. Turns out you had to file it under safety, not targets. All the target petitions into one big pile that never gets... All the target petitions go into one big pile that never gets read. Where can I find them? Oh, they're down in the conduit somewhere. Look for a market trader in a brightly colored clothing. Just mind yourself, it's a weird place. Thanks. King's favor to you. Blingen. Oh, we can't get back up the way. That's unfortunate. I don't know where you get a random urge to check your pocket. Inside you find a scrap of paper you've never seen before. In the make note reads, we must speak, but hostile eyes are watching. Meet me after nightfall in the park in Upper Ferropolis. I'll be waiting under the gazebo. Come alone, trust no one. Okay, cool. So there is a... a shortcut up. Oh. Not actually what I was wanting, but it's good to know we have one. We don't have to do what we did last time, which is run all the way around in circles. The Untermarket. Untermarket. So probably it does appear to be nighttime, so we're gonna practically try to run back up there and find this park to get going to. Where is the park in Upper Ferropolis? It's over there. The gazebo. The woman smiles at you with the spark in her sea-green eyes. It seems truly without malice. Her mechanical arm gives us fluid salutation, while her breath marks her as a member of the Mechanist Guild. Hello, stranger. Come to escape the word for a bit? I ask your name? Oh, I'm simply a citizen of Ferropolis. Getting my boiler cool. Look at this place. They still trust it to run a little wild, you see. You a friend by any chance? Ah, so you got my notes. Thank you for coming. Sorry for the cloak and dagger dance. The mechanarium is tense right now. Being seen with me would put you in danger. My name is Afara. I'm the chief interpreter of the Mechanist Guild, and I'm very excited to meet you. And I'm sure. Tell me, friend, which part of yourself do you like the least? If you could change something today, what would it be? Oh, buddy, Oh, honey, I know exactly how you feel. But why should you have to accept that? Why shouldn't you be able to change it? We live in an age of marvels, increasing every year. Magic is abundant, fizzing in the air, and in the stones and in our blood. Why not use it? Magic is dangerous. Always has a price. True, but its dangers can be managed. Its costs shared. And what about the costs of leaving things as they are? The yawning abyss of suffering that we just call ordinary life. He's talking very quickly now. What does that have to do with your note? Oh, yes, of course, the note. Listen. You already know something is deeply wrong with this kingdom, don't you? You needn't pretend, anyone can see it. Even if they're afraid to say so. 1. It's not just the shortages, or this awful winter, or even the corruption. The king's alterations to reality have lost all rhyme or reason, and things are going missing. People, houses, towns, words, even memories. Many people blame the mechanists. But the truth is that even we no longer understand our king's actions. Hence, we suspect that all these problems are just different sides of one problem. Bluntly, the Clock King is going mad, and no one has any idea why. That is, no one except me. As chief interpreter, my sacred duty is to analyze its Majesty's wishes, to become convinced that the king is trying to tell us something huge, which we don't want to hear. What exactly did the king say to you? Speaker Sinel won't let me read the logs until he's redacted any confidential information. That'll take months. We may not have months. I'm going to form the sacramental duty. The sacramental duty? I've never heard of such a thing. Didn't it explain what that means? Yes, but it's some weird language I've never seen. Of course, the symbols the king spits out are six-fold cipher language. I could read them easily if only I could access the logs. Damn it all, Sinel. Why won't you listen? Friend, this confirms my worst fears. Her speech quickens. Because don't you see? It's all connected. If cipher is the true language of reality, and cipher magic is powered by cognition, it means we must account for all relevant cognition within a defined form space. Almost space. Which in this case is a whole kingdom. Now, Carrick's law states that the cumulative cipheric interactions of incognitive entities may be expressed as a six-dimensional vermiform. Manifold according to the function. Listen intently. Farah leaks between apparently unrelated topics of dizzying speed, growing increasingly flustered as she struggles to express the contours of some vast structure inside her head. Sometimes you glimpse details, but the overall shape eludes you. She stops and takes a deep breath. I'm sorry, this isn't going how I imagined. It's all just so damnably tangled up together. If only. That's it. You need to see it for yourself. There's a house here in Ferropolis. It's scheduled for removal, but I've ensured a delay, long enough for you to visit. Take this key. Inside the house you'll find a mirror. Walk through it. Where I found this? The house is tucked away in the lowest level of the city. What the locals call the conduits. It's rather a warren down there, but you might have searched a bit. The conduits are hardly a savoury place, but you do meet such interesting people. I used to love visiting the bazaar, back when I was just a junior interpreter. Alas, with my present rank, it would be most unwise for me to be seen there. Is it dangerous? Quite dangerous, yes, but then again, only a little more so than simply being in the kingdom in the first place. Dress warmly, don't linger in one place for too long, and try not to touch anything. I'll see what I can do. Please try, friend, you can't know how important this is. dun, dun, and we know where that is. Very useful. It's extremely convenient. To the mirror. You step out the outside of the mirror. For a moment you think you're still in Ferropolis until you look up and see that the sky is gone. Instead of the Oniric Isles' familiar red Muron star, there is only blackness, save for a swirling gyre of dim blue light, staring you down like a malevolent eye. The tenement drifts overhead, unmoored from the earth, tumbling slowly end over end. All around you, the city twists up and possibly into the air. Houses piled upon houses, pipes and drains and gutters spreading like tree ranches, as far as the eye can see. Ground. It's freezing here. Frost crunches on your feet, and every surface is hung with icicles. You see statues in naturalistic poses fluttering the street, but no people. From somewhere nearby, there is a sound of discordant music. Examine all the statues. Your stomach twists as you realize the statue is once a living person. Their mouth is open, their fist... Oh, I should not have. As you explore, you find another frozen person lying tucked up in bed in the middle of the street, wearing a nightcap with a pom-pom on the end. When a family sitting around dinner table, forks and cups suspended halfway to their mouths. You shiver. Why the hell did a pharaoh bring you here? What's the source of the music? The music verges on random noise. Every time you think you've figured out the structure, it changes and slips more from your grasp. Sometimes it stops for several minutes, and all you can do is wait, shivering. In the deserted remnants of an old plaza, you find a grand piano, its keys plinking and plonking on their own, no living soul is visible. You shiver. Why the hell did a pharaoh bring you here? There's no answer, save the echo of your own voice. Ignore the scenery and search your way out. Time seems to work differently here. You feel like you're wandering for hours, but it could be minutes. At some point you realize you are now upside down in relation to where you started. A rowing boat with two petrified passengers spins in the air. Finally, leaning on the railings of a catwalk that goes nowhere, clad in a well-worn full fur coat, you spot her for her. She waves at you. Afra. Afra's breath mists in the air as she gives you a wry smile. Well, fancy seeing you here. What is this place? My best guess is that it would be a pocket dimension created or repurposed by the king. Alternatively, it could be the very beginning of our cosmos, before the neuron stars were born. Or the end, after they died. This is all just speculation, you understand. How did you get here? Same way you did. I discovered this place by chance about a year ago. I've been studying it ever since. As far as I can tell, no other living mechanists even know about it. Why is it so cold? Have you tried casting spells in here? I think the bedrock cipher syntax is broken somehow, or different. That would mean the clauses defining material objects are left incomplete, and loop back into the void, dumping their energy as they go. And heat is just energy, really? This hypothesis would be quite heretical in the Episode Union, but suffice it to say that the existence of this place calls orthodox cosmology into question. This is what you wanted to show me. Yes, this is what the king's been doing. Everything you see here was vanished from our world by the king's magic. When they vanish, reality adjusts around them as if they were never there. There are hundreds of people here. Houses, streets, towns. It's a silent massacre no one's allowed to think about. And it's speeding up. How is this possible? Years ago, before I joined the Mechanists, we gave the king the power to alter magic by people. Sorry, to alter people by magic. The idea was that a new society would need a new kind of citizen, with new virtues and skills. Before long, my colleagues began using the power to rewrite troublesome personalities, or even erase them from existence. I wish I'd paid closer attention. It wasn't my department, you understand. But this is beyond anything we ever asked for. I've scoured the logs, and almost everything here was vanished by the king on its own initiative. In other words, we've lost control. Sounds like you got your wish. Perhaps. I would have asked for more questions. Sorry, I would have asked more questions, raised more objections. But please believe me, most of my colleagues are not evil people. No one wanted this. In fact, I found evidence of at least 12 missing mechanists from my own department, whom nobody remembers. Did any of them try to raise the alarm? Am I really the first to find this place? No wonder we've always been so understaffed. I mean, speeding up. You know what exponential means? Suppose you have 2 spore mites, and they breed. Then you have 4 spore mites, and then they breed. And then you have 8 spore mites, and then they breed. Oh shit. Indeed. Can we help these people? Bring them back somehow? Afro looks pained. Anything that stays here more than about 6.5 hours becomes irrevocably void touched, and would disintegrate upon returning to our world. The best we can do is try to stop the inflow. How can this be stopped? Afro twists up the corner of her mouth in a mirthless smile. I was hoping you'd ask that. We've lingered here long enough. If you're willing to help, step through this mirror and meet me back in Unison Park after nightfall. Another question first. Is it still nighttime? How do I get out of the warrens? How do I get out of the warrens? Woman is guarding a bucket of water. Sit down on the ground near the machinery. When she sees you, she tenses up. King's grace to you, citizen. Don't mind me. I have nothing worth stealing. You're hiding down here the bucket of water. I'm not hiding. I'm warming it. Anyway, these pipes run right into the mechanarium. And here, look. She grabs your hand and holds it against the metal pipe for a few seconds. It's hot. Wouldn't be right to refuse a gift from the king now, would it? I'm just making sure nothing's wasted. Enterprising. Okay, I found out. Yes, yes, yes. Up. Everybody's awake now, which makes me think it's probably daytime. Unfortunate. That's alright. Oh. Akbra's mechanical mechanical arm gives you a fluid salutation. So, friend, you've seen the cost of the king's madness. Will you help me? To compensate you, of course, it's best a humble engineer. Sorry. I'll compensate you, of course, as best a humble engineer can. You have my attention. Oh, King's mercy, thank you. You cannot know how grateful I am that somebody understands. We're working on a spell that would stop the vanishings and reform the king's power so it could only alter people at their own request, with their consent, just like we talked about, see? Unfortunately, my spell must be enacted inside the king's audience chamber, and these days only Speaker Sunil and his own circle are allowed in. They're also paranoid about the saboteur. But you, the king summoned you specifically. Do you realize how rare that is? His Majesty doesn't make mistakes, only decisions we don't understand yet. And His Majesty has decided that you are important. If we can induce the king to summon you again, Sunil would have to let you in. He would never disobey a royal command. And you can put my spell. Does it all make sense? Whatever is clouded, I shall strive to eliminate. What happens if I don't input your spell? And I'll try to find another way, but I fear that our clock is short. The king is giving us a million warnings and we are ignoring all of them. There may not be another chance before the situation becomes irretrievable. Best case scenario is that Sunil might be right and I am wrong. The king's madness will self-correct over time, and everything will balance out. In the middling scenario, everyone in the kingdom vanishes and the entire island is consumed by the corruption. As for the worst case scenario, according to my analysis, there is an outside chance we would suffer a catastrophic arcane event akin to a miniature world rend. The fact that it would probably be limited to this island is cold comfort to those of us that live here. What else can I make lucid? Or what your spell does. It's actually something I've been working on for years. Cipher magic allowed me to become who I am today, and I believe everyone should have that power, so why not let the king alter anyone who asks for it? Once I understood the scale of the vanishings, however, I realized that my spell may be the only way to halt them quickly enough without introducing some other potentially catastrophic new fault. If my analysis is correct, this would mean that this began to heal the king's madness whilst improving the lives of everyone in the kingdom. Alas, Speaker Sunil has not been receptive to these ideas. Yes, he told me that I was mistaken, that it was all just a mirage of the corruption. That this wasn't my department. He even questioned whether I had the right might be falling prey to corruption myself. I've been under surveillance ever since. What else can I make lucid? My questions now. Gosh, I hope that all made sense. I think you're the first person who's ever heard the whole thing out loud. Back to the task at hand. First, we must catch the king's attention. About a month ago, strange phenomena were reported in the graveyard outside Ferropolis. My analysis suggests that these phenomena are a secret message from His Majesty. Take my Machinist Guild insignia and investigate the graveyard. The graveyard keeper may be able to assist you. Use it carefully, friend. Those insignia command great power throughout the kingdom. Now, I could be wrong, but I suspect the message will begin with music like this. She hums a haunting tune, somehow familiar and ethereal all at once, like a lullaby from time's own beginning. Good voice, you know. How kind. Well, perhaps if this whole Mykonos business doesn't pan out, I can make a living as a troubadour. So is your mission clear? Where do I find this graveyard? Outside Ferropolis to the northwest. If you leave via the main causeway, you will see broken key pylons running downhill to the left. Follow those until you come to the graveyard. What else can I do? Well, the Machinist Guild is empowered to act with the king's own authority. My colleagues use their insignia to investigate crimes, requisition goods, and generally compel obedience. I must stress, this brooch is a privilege. This brooch is a privilege, not a toy. I trust you won't do anything untoward with it. I'll be careful with it. Good, after all, if the guild were to find out, well, no matter. I'll speak with I'll break 1,000 rules. That's what it takes to save the kingdom. I think I understand. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna drop a break in here. Because I need to get up and do things today. And we'll come back to this next time, as we now have some quests to take us out and about. So yes, I'll be back next time. Thank you for watching.